The movie opens with former Special Forces agent Frank Martin, who now works as a professional courier in a quiet French town. He strictly enforces unbreakable rules. Never alter the deal, never ask names, and never open the packages. One day Frank takes a new assignment and drives a rental car to a bank, unaware that his clients are a gang of masked robbers. As sirens grow louder, Frank calmly watches and presses a button that changes the license plate. When the robbers enter the car, he refuses to drive. There are 4, not 3 as agreed. They threaten him at gunpoint, but he explains the car was calibrated for 3 passengers only. The gang leader, frustrated, shoots one of his men to restore order and ensure a clean getaway. Frank then drives them with unmatched skill, weaving through tight streets with finesse that proves he's a master in every scenario. Later, Frank drops the robbers at their destination, collects his payment, and declines further requests off contract. Back home, he washes the car, swaps plates, and sees on TV that police caught the 3 robbers he transported. At that moment, Inspector Tyrone knocks on his door, asking about a black BMW seen in the heist. Suspicious of Frank's calm lifestyle, Tyrone notes the extraordinary driving skills. Frank claims he was away. Tyrone leaves, promising to return soon. Frank accepts a new job. He meets a group of gangsters at a cafe who request delivery of a 50 kilograms package. Frank sternly reiterates his rules and they comply. He burns records of the deal and leaves. Next day, as the gang loads the package into his trunk, Frank drives off only to discover a flat tire. While changing it, he notices the package is moving. Choosing to focus on the tire, he ignores it for now. Frank stops for lunch and curiosity wins. He opens the package, finding a terrified woman inside. He cuts air holes, offers her a drink, then continues. Later, noise from the trunk forces him to stop again. The woman says she needs to pee. Frank helps her out, loosely tying a rope for safety. But the cord is cut and she escapes into the woods. Frank quickly tracks her, lifts her over his shoulder, and returns to find 2 cops at his car. They try arresting him, but Frank disarms them with quick punches and drives off. He delivers the package to a wealthy American gangster named Darren, who suspects Frank opened it. Frank denies it and Darren pays him. Darren then assigns Frank another job, delivering a suitcase. Frank accepts after verifying the weight, but at a shop his car explodes, throwing him into the air. He quickly fights off Darren's goons, guessing they planted the bomb. At a garage, Frank steals a car and finds the woman inside again. Furious, he dumps her on the road, but soon returns to bring her to his house. Over dinner, she talks nonstop. Later, she explores and finds awards and photos of Frank's military past. Meanwhile, Darren learns Frank is alive and decides he must die. The next morning, Frank finds the woman, Lee, arranging flowers and making coffee. As she steps out for milk, Tyrone arrives. Lee pretends to be Frank's cook. Tyrone joins them for breakfast, showing a burnt plate from the blown-up car. Frank claims his car was stolen. Lee supports the story. Tyrone asks to see the car, and Frank shows him a luxury S-Class. Tyrone doubts a cook can afford it and grows more suspicious when Lee poses as Frank's girlfriend. He warns he'll be back. Lee declines to go with Frank, upsetting him further. Suddenly, a rocket hits the house. They survive under a table as gangsters shoot up the place. Another explosion forces Frank to carry Lee to a lift. They escape and swim through dark waters to his safe house. At the station, Tyrone believes Frank has an enemy. Frank denies knowledge. While Tyrone steps out, Lee sneaks onto his computer, printing info about Darren just before Tyrone catches them acting cozy. Tyrone offers a stay at his brother's hotel. Frank declines. Lee eagerly accepts the money. She takes a taxi to find Darren. Frank, initially reluctant, changes his mind when Lee reveals 500 people, including her family, are trapped in a container. Moved by pity, Frank storms Darren's office. At gunpoint, while he looks for evidence, Darren claims Frank broke the rules. Mr. Chi, Lee's father, arrives. Lee draws a gun, demanding answers, but he mocks her. Darren calls Leo to fight Frank, knocking him out just as Tyrone arrives. Darren accuses Frank of kidnapping Though doubtful, Tyrone is forced to arrest Frank. Frank explains Darren's smuggling and Tyrone, aware of Darren's past, begins to trust him. Needing time for legal procedure, Tyrone asks Frank to be patient, but with lives on the line, Frank stages a fake hostage situation and escapes with Tyrone. At the dock, Frank returns his weapons, boards a boat, and begins searching containers using a stethoscope. Meanwhile, Darren's convoy departs. Frank fights one goon and chaos erupts. Frank chases Darren, leaps onto a moving truck, but is spotted. He dives onto a passing bus, dodging more goons. A brutal fight resumes. Frank oils the floor, causing attackers to slip and takes them down. Gunmen arrive. Frank uses a body as a shield and dives through a window into the water. They light the water on fire, but Frank uses a dead man's oxygen tank and escapes. He returns, grabs clothes and a gun, then steals a car. Spotting a plane, he follows and parachutes onto a container. He seizes the truck, ejects the driver, and crashes into a ravine. Darren shoots at him from a car, but Frank uses broken glass to see and disarm him. Darren strangles Frank, throws him through the windshield. Everyone thinks he's dead, but Frank clings to the truck's underside. Chi spots him and aims to shoot. Frank throws a wrench, making the car crash. He fights Darren again, ejecting him and stopping the truck, only to face Chi at gunpoint. Just then, a gunshot rings out. Chi assumes Lee is dead and prepares to kill Frank, but Lee shoots Chi from behind. Tyrone and the police arrive, open the container, and rescue the people trapped inside. Thanks for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.